everybody, and welcome to the Untitled Sickos Project, where we're back again for another Power Rankings video, and once again, out with Turf Toe again, but this time a more severe version, the one that gives you a sore throat. Kamain is not able to be with us again, so instead, I dragged the guy that was here last week back out of the mines and told him if he doesn't work this episode, there's going to be hell to pay.
Hello, I am Guy that he has dragged out of the mines. DieSometimes, i.e. Chris, i.e. The greatest predictor of all time. Just kidding. No, I'm not.
Do
Don't
not
ignore that. But I am. I will be here. It is nice to be here always.
True. Well, let's not hesitate. As usual, we have our people who are receiving votes. And this time, we have a lot of things to talk about. At number 20, we have the Fall from Grace, the Kansas City Chiefs. For a three-way tie for 17th, we have the Cowboys, Falcons, and Bears. At the 16th spot, we have the Los Angeles Chargers, and at 15th, we have the Steelers. I will say this. I feel like, for some reason, I feel like the Cowboys, Falcons, and Bears are all very similarly put together, I think, in terms of how they're viewed. All of them are very electrifying offenses, who have just one part of their team, putting them back. For Dallas and Chicago, it's their defense, and for the Falcons, it's Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson.
The jury is still up on Zach Robinson because his inconsistencies make absolutely no sense. Because he called a fantastic game against the Commanders. I thought he called a pretty okay game against the Buccaneers too. But the Panthers game was unbelievably dreadful, and the Vikings game also left a lot to be desired. So I guess moving him to the sideline was what I guess was his wake up call to say, hey, if this doesn't work, we're firing you.
True.
Which, I mean, cool for them. Raheem Morris isn't really going to take this team anywhere, which is why the Falcons ceiling is the way that it is. I think Penix also needs to play better, but I thought he played a really good game against the Commanders. But they have their work cut out for them on Sunday. As for Dallas is a very interesting team. That defense is unbelievably bad.
Yeah.
Unbelievably bad. I really struggle to see how good this team can realistically be, because this is another team whose ceiling is hampered because their defense is just that bad, and just like Zach Robinson, the jury is up on Schottenheimer.
Yeah,
we know if he's a good head coach or not. Totally unsure, but right now it's not an abject disaster. So I mean, if you're a Dallas fan, you take that and you run with it.
Yeah, ironically enough, if Micah Parsons is on this team, I think Dallas might be. They'll definitely be 3-2. They perhaps might be 4-1, maybe. Because I think if you have Micah Parsons, you could debate on whether or not they beat the Eagles. But that aside, there are three other huge size holes in here. At number 20, this is very favorable, and I think this is only, and I mean only, just because Ren's picks on here. As you can tell right now, because I'm a dumb little stupid idiot and forgot to show my screen to Mr. DieSometimes. As I get that prepared, there's a bit of an issue going on right now in the NFL, and that is, no one really wants to be good. And Ren over here had the wonderful idea of only including people who played this week. And the worst part is, he doesn't even have the worst power ranking on this list, as you can tell by the big number 52 under Jugger. Now, I won't get into that too much, because at the end of the day, it is just kinda, whatever. And all of this was just stalling, so that way I could get Chris the actual power rankings that we'll be talking about, instead of having him be in the dark, like a bad host, um, I have instead decided to grace him with that, and it's always scuffed. It's never gonna be great, but hey, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So now that we get into the other parts of this, let's talk about the Chiefs real quick because I just wanna say I think the witch is dead. I think the witch is dead for this year. I think it's dead.
I can't write them off. I cannot write them off. I think the Jags are proving me wrong in so many different ways, and that is making me happy. I'm glad that they're fine. They might not be a bunch of butt cheeks this year, but that was a pretty tough loss for the Chiefs. They essentially outplayed the Jaguars that entire game and still well, at least offensively, and still lost. It's such a shame. They'll be I think they'll be fine, especially with the Chargers dealing with the litany of injuries they have on their offense. Chargers are bad. The Broncos offense is still kind of whatever, and the Raiders are a waste of space. So there is still a very solid chance they can come back and win this division, especially since they're only like what 2 games back of
Yeah.
they're 2 games back of first place, so they can afford taking losses here. I don't think the witch is dead. Now, come playoff time, that is definitely up for debate because
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of teams in the AFC that are playing a lot better than them right now. I think they'll be fine, but they just need to figure some things out.
Yeah, plus people forget that when Tom Brady had that dynasty in New England, there was like a 10-year period where they didn't win any championships. And the Chiefs may be going through one of theirs, but I think for now, I think it's fair to say, despite Mahomes having probably one of his best seasons of all time, uh, he has he has just absolutely no help, man. I can't believe I'm saying this, but that offensive line has looked not amazing. It's not been bad per
Yeah,
se, because there's definitely worse lines out there, but this is definitely a very weak KC line.
absolutely 100%. They have been pretty bad all season long, and that is not what you expect from Kansas City, who's like had honestly rather fantastic offensive lines for like the past few years.
Agreed. Well, we have two other teams, of course, the Chargers and Steelers. I will say this real quick. I do think buy tax is in effect because of what I said about Ren. But I really feel like the Steelers are in this weird pack of, hey, we think that you're good, but we don't think you're good. It's a weird tier because I'm not gonna
Oh, they
say,
definitely have, no, they 100% have a buy tax for me. Like holy crap, they definitely have a buy
yeah,
tax.
yeah, it's
That team is not good. They are
yeah.
really lucky that the AFC North is as bad as it is.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we're omitting one team too. The Ravens just no one even voted for them. Not a single
As a
person
team, that
voted for
team is
the
fucking
Ravens.
garbage. They suck. Defense is bad, offense is bad, everything is bad with that team.
Yeah, it just sucks, man. I don't even know what to say. The Bills broke the Ravens, and that's
I don't even think
crazy.
it's the Bills. The Ravens just like that team is just really bad. I don't know
Yeah,
what else I can say. They just their defense is just not good. They
yeah,
spent all this money on their defense. And they just can't. They really just can't.
yeah, and not to mention too, I just I don't have a lot of faith in a Cooper Rush led team, but not to mention too, it feels like Derrick Henry's like fear factor is gone. He's not a King Henry, he's upper middle
Not the
class
best. He is
Henry.
nowhere near the best running back in the league anymore.
Yeah, he is 9
Bijan
to
has taken
5
his
Henry.
Bijan has taken his spot.
Yeah.
It's really been him and Jonathan Taylor because you could say the same thing about another running back that was considered the best in the league last year who is gonna show up later in this list for sure.
Yeah. Jonathan, he's going to be a beast. And of course,
Jonathan
lastly,
Taylor is awesome.
we have the Chargers, of course, at 16, even though we went out of order here. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this team anymore. I felt so high on this team, and then the Giants loss happened. I thought, okay, that's a one-off thing that happens. Then the injuries piled up, and I was like, they could overcome them. And then the Commanders game happened, and then I was like, okay, this team may not be good until they get healthy. They might be kind of poo-poo.
They are really that offensive line is not is really not good. It actually might be the worst in the league. Not even gonna hold you. That really just might be the worst in the NFL. They're really that bad.
Yeah. Not to.
They have like it has been 2 games and they have already had over how many what pressures was it? I think 81. 81
Sheesh.
pressures. Yeah, that is not a successful that is not how you build a successful team, plain and simple.
Well, we do have some interesting news though. Of course, earlier today we saw that the Chargers traded for Owafe from the Ravens. I think that it's pronounced. I could be wrong. Um, I think that'll help out the pass rush, but I have to say, Jim Harbaugh is not slick. He went up on a presser today about announcing him, and he's like, "It feels like we got another Khalil Mack in the building." I immediately
Insane statement to say.
did.
That is an absolutely crazy statement to say.
I have to say the glazing is insane, and I respect it. However, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? That is one of the worst. That's like one of those glazes where you know that you're wrong, but you're only saying it to hype up your homie, even though you know that he is not hype at all. He's just straight mid.
I was pretty big on Odafe Owe coming out of the draft, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's with young Ravens edge rushers. They just haven't been like good. Maybe the change of scenery is something new, but I don't think it's an Odafe. I don't think they are an Odafe Owe move away from being, the contenders that they think they are. The Chargers have a lot of problems, and I think, well, for one, obviously injuries are definitely affecting this team, but I think just structurally, how this team is built was a little, it was always just like weird because like shout outs to Quentin Johnston because he's been like great this season. Lad McConkey, I finally had a good game, but even then, I still feel like they are really just missing that oomph on offense. They need something
I
that can really put them over the top offensively that they just do not have.
Yeah, it's rough over there in LA, and I just Herbert had such a great start, and I still think he has it, and I still think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league. But I don't know what this Chargers team is anymore, man. They're gonna have to play the Dolphins, and if they lose, if they beat the Dolphins, that's whatever. But after that, you got the Colts and Vikings. Justin Herbert might die. Like those are two very strong defenses after the Dolphins.
Very, very solid chance he might get murdered.
Yeah. Well, at number 14, we have a newcomer to the top 14. We have the New England Patriots. Um,
That's where I'm at. I should have like ignore that Vikings at 14. That's supposed to be the Patriots, but whatever. We move.
yeah. Uh, it's just I feel like fuck the Steelers were 14. Fuck it. We move on with this shit. Patriots at 14. I feel like this team is very good. I do think there is some buy tax involved in this as well, as you can clearly see because I fucked it up. But hey, I will say this. Drake May looks very solid. They had a great win against the Steelers. And, 3-2 in one of the worst, with two of the worst teams in football in your conference, getting a win over Buffalo is pretty big. Because if Buffalo keeps on getting in their own way, Drake May and the Patriots have a very solid coaching staff to get them above to that next level.
I do like this Patriot team a lot. I really do like the things that Drake May is doing. He's been honestly fantastic this entire year. He's yet to have like a pretty bad game. Well, he had a pretty bad game week 1, but other than that, he's been extremely good for the Patriots. This I feel like is almost an outlier game because I guarantee when the Bills go to New England, they're gonna beat them.
Yeah.
That game was really weird for the Bills, and it's just like it a lot of people are gonna hold it to them that they lost that game, but it was just like weird bad turnovers, just be unable to like their defense is like deceptively bad. I think that's a good way to put it. Like their defense is kind
Secondary's
of
good,
deceptive.
pass rush is bad.
I don't even think their secondary is that good, honestly.
Christian Gonzalez at least
There
throws
is a
the
lot
ball.
of there's a lot of volatility in that on that defense, and letting Stephon Diggs have the revenge game that he had is unacceptable. And I'm really
140
scared.
yards, I think. Was that
It
the
was it was a lot, and it really scares me for like what's gonna happen on Monday. I still think they'll beat the Falcons, but it does scare me because the Falcons structurally are a better offense than the Patriots. Like
yeah.
honestly, up and down, like aside from quarterback, I think up and down the Falcons are a much better offense than the Patriots, and I think that could genuinely be a matchup nightmare for the Bills, especially the Falcons run game. Because if the Falcons, like Michael Penix could probably throw like 15 passes, and the Falcons could still probably put up like 24 points on the Bills. They're just that much better of a running offense than the they're just that much better of a running offense than the Patriots, in my opinion. So I worry about the Bills, especially when it comes to come playoff time. They have a lot of issues that they need to fix defensively. They cannot let Stephon Diggs have the game that he had
Yeah.
on Sunday. They have to fix that.
Yeah. Also, too, Ramondre Stevenson had 27 yards and 2 touchdowns after fumbling the ball. I feel like he fumbled like 3 times that game. I know it was probably like once or something, but like Ramondre Stevenson somehow getting 2 touchdowns and having one of the worst games of his life is objectively kind of funny from that game too. But I honestly, if this Patriots team can just, ride the flows, win the games they should win, beat the teams they should beat, I think they could probably be a nice little 10-6 squad where they fight up against, like, let's just say a team like, let's just say the Chargers, because in this case, because let's say they win the division, they could definitely fight up and then maybe lose to them, but still, they're very solid. They deserve their flowers,
100%. I think they played a great game. I realize I just went on a tangent about the Bills. I don't want to go on a tangent about the Bills. I do want to like really give the Patriots their props for the way that they played on Sunday. Like they played a complete game, offense, defense. They look good. They forced the turnovers that they needed. This is a scrappy team, and I like that. That's a team that's a team that can be very dangerous. They are a very very scrappy team and a very solid AFC where there are a lot of like good teams that are kind of floating in the middle. I think the Patriots could be on the upper. It could definitely easily be on the upper end of the team that can make of these teams that could make the playoffs. Especially with how bad their division is, they essentially have like 4 free. I want to say I don't want to say free wins, but like they have 4 free wins in the Dolphins and the Dolphins and the Jets. And the fact that they got one off on the Bills, like they're off to a good start. And and hopefully they can keep riding this momentum until the end of the year so they can be a playoff team.
Agreed. Well, up next, at the number 13 spot, the Minnesota Vikings. Don't know why they're here. I don't think this is a bad team per se, but I really feel like they should be like right next to like the Bears, the Falcons, the Cowboys, because they have the reverse thing where they have a phenomenal defense, but the offense, yeah. I get the Browns defense is very good, and I mean very good. They're like number 1 in I think almost all categories. But again, I don't know. I feel the saddest thing is I feel like if they put in JJ McCarthy at this point, I feel like they're going to be worse, and I feel like if they stuck with Wentz, he could get to 10-7 and somehow get that team into the playoffs. But I think more than anything, this year you have to develop McCarthy. And the saddest thing is, too, I think McCarthy kind of tanks this team. But who knows, maybe he learned from his mistakes and then next year he looks better. But, Minnesota, good defense, very questionable offense. But, hey, apparently it doesn't matter if you go out of town. As long as you win a game, as long as you get a game-winning touchdown, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Minnesota, I think it's a questionable everything. It's not even just offense. Their defense has been questionable this year too. Their run defense has been atrocious, plain and simple, all year. They let the Falcons ran down their throat week 2. Uh, they got completely. I mean, well, they completely crushed the Bengals, but the Bengals are terrible. The Steelers game, another bad showing from their rush defense, and then the Browns were moving the ball with a rookie quarterback. Like Dylan Gabriel looks solid against that Vikings defense. They, as much as I love Kevin O'Connell, though, there is a few like positions on their roster that's just questionable. Like, do you really want Carson Wentz to be leading this team to glory? I don't think that's gonna happen. I I've always been extremely low on JJ McCarthy. I don't think he's a good quarterback at all. And each one of his starts that he's had this year, granted, it's only been 2. The last he was dreadful, just awful, unplayable, unwatchable. And it makes you wonder, should they have just gave Sam Darnold a 1-year deal? Do you think this team would be better? I do, because he's easily better than both of the quarterbacks that they have starting right now.
Yeah.
So, I, and even then, like their free agent acquisitions, like Deron Payne and the
Javon Hargrave.
other, thank you, Javon Hargraves, they haven't really made an impact because their rush defense is still not good. It's not good. So I really hope that those two can turn it around. I am praying that they can find some semblance of offensive stability. But right now, that team is. I think they're like, even though they're on like they're number 13 in this power rankings, I think by midseason or like near the end of the season, they're going to be one of the teams on the outside looking in because of all of their roster deficiencies.
Yeah, not to mention too, the NFC North is still one of the roughest divisions to play in football right now.
Absolutely.
Considering all 3 of those teams are going to be competing for playoffs, and at least 2 of them are competing to win a Super Bowl. But I don't know. The Bears could easily just bear this shit. And the NFC, it's a crapshoot kind of right now. Anyone could kind of get in.
Here, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well,
Anyone's the conference to win at this point.
and I would say except for the AFC North, but that's due to other circumstances. Um,
Christ almighty.
While we're at it, I forgot to mention the teams that didn't get mentioned on here real quick. Rico Dowell got mentioned twice, and me and you both put that. Oh, 3 times actually. And two people put down Kool-Aid McKinstry, which was me and you. I just want to say, I'm glad that there's also another fellow Kool-Aid enthusiast. Personally, I always love the fruit punch, but man, Kool-Aid McKinstry, talk about a breakout game. He really needed that because remember he was planning on going first overall like a couple years, not first overall, but in the first round a couple years ago, and then he got taken like late in the second or something. But like such a breakout game for him, even if it is against a rookie Jackson Dart.
He had a great game. 2 interceptions. Like he was fantastic. Um, I don't want to take anything away from him, but like, who is the New York Giants starting receiver? Who is it? Is it
Wandale Robinson or
Wanda Robinson? Jesus Christ. Malik Neighbors was doing insane things for that offense.
yeah.
But shout outs to Kool-Aid McKinstry. He had a fantastic game. He was awesome. And Rico Dowdle, like, I wasn't really paying attention to that game that much, but I saw the I saw the stats, and he had 206 yards. And my first thought was, wow, this Dolphins defense is atrocious. How do you allow that?
I look, man. I had to go up against Rico Dowell in fantasy last week, so I was in hell. But this just proves once again that Dallas doesn't know how to doesn't know how to value running backs anymore, despite the fact that Javonte Williams is having a very good season. But we don't talk about that because we get to shit on Dallas. Shh. Well, up next at the number 12 spot, even though it says that it's not, we have the San Francisco 49ers.
Be that low. They had a great win against the Rams. That was a very, very good win against the Rams. I'll talk about the Rams when we get to them, but I thought the 49ers played a very good offensive game plan against the Rams. As much as I despise Kyle Shanahan, he dialed up a great game plan against the Rams. He like took advantage of all of their flaws, and their offense was running smooth. Mac Jones had 300, like what, 315 yards
Yeah, something
passing.
around that.
Yeah, they were moving the ball, and they took advantage. I mean, they took advantage of those costly of that those costly turnovers, those two fumbles that the Rams
340
had.
actually.
How much was it?
340.
340. My goodness, almost 350 yards. Yeah, Mac Jones is wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
A lot of their offense came underneath, and they just took what the Rams gave to them. This is again greatly coached team. Even with all of the injuries, both their starting receivers out. Like they had Kendrick Bourne, but Kendrick Bourne had a fantastic game. Christian McCaffrey. Like this team, they played good.
Yeah.
I think they deserve to be a little higher on the list.
Um,
They played a great game.
True. I think the reason why they're not higher is because of the injury bug. I honestly, as much as I don't like the Niners and I don't think that they are a completely solid team, they have overcome the injuries, and I will give them that. They played a very solid game against the Rams. However, two things just kind of detracted from me, because in my head I'm like, one, Thursday Night Football is the epitome, is probably more unpredictable than any given Sunday, because Thursday Night Football is either where a team that shouldn't win finds a way to win one of the dumbest games of all time, or just a flat-out blowout, and we kind of got a bit of that. Also, to mention too, they are way too inconsistent. Like, the Arizona game, looking on it right now, is completely baffling, and we'll probably get to that to the 2-minute warning when we talk about one of these teams. But Arizona was baffling. The Saints game is still baffling. The Seahawks had a good win. They're playing way too close, and that just doesn't give me a lot of comfort and ease. But hey, they're going up against the team that is mostly clutch in close games in the Buccaneers. We'll see who comes out on top on that one.
You already know who I'm cheering for that game. Let's go
Yeah,
fucking Niners.
you. Well, up next we have a tie for the 11th spot between the Packers and Seahawks. Packers got hit with the bye week tax, so I mean, honestly, there's not really much to talk about them that we didn't go over last
Lock
week.
in, lock in, lock in. That's all I can say about. That's all I can say about that team. Lock in. My
Nah,
goodness, the last two games they played have been unbelievably atrocious.
yeah. But let's get to the more fun team. Seattle. Holy shit, this team is good. 3-2 does not accurately describe this team. They should be 5-0 realistically. But unfortunately, costly turnover against going up against Nick Bosa, and interception where, albeit, you can't really blame Darnold that much because he is getting pressured to hell and back because that Seattle offensive line is, in fact, terrible. But honestly, I'm surprised that people aren't valuing Seattle more. I mean, I'll go into it more when I talk about Denver, but I definitely think they're a better team than Denver. Maybe a more consistent team than the Commanders, only because their quarterback is healthy. Jaden Daniels is still kind of hurt and everything, but I really like Seattle. They are a very strong and very fun team to watch. Not to mention, too, I think JSN right now, in terms of everything, is wide receiver 1 this year. Still, he has a lot to do to catch up to the guys like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. But God, he is putting his name
The
out
Puka
there.
Nacua died.
Oh, fuck, yeah. Puka's also there, too. I just love JSN, man. He is so cool. But you want to know who I love even more? Emeka Mbuka. God, he's so nice. I love him. I love Mbuka, man.
Emeka Ibuka when I get to when I talk about the Bucks, but man, oh man, he is so good at football.
True. But yeah,
He's moving the shit out of me. I'll get to Emeka when I get to
yeah.
Emeka.
Yeah, also, too, one thing I do want to note about Sam Darnold's game against the Buccaneers, only 104 of his yards were for after the catch. So for most of the passes he was throwing on that day, a lot of them were just being caught and the receiver were immediately falling down. So essentially, Sam Darnold was throwing everywhere on that field. And yeah, it's just dog. This team is gonna be really fun. I think if they don't lose against San Francisco, I think this team definitely is going to be like one of the teams that we can say firmly is one of the best in the division, one of the best in the league. But unfortunately, that passing defense is a little less than typical. I get they're hurt on the cornerback side of things, but still, yikes. But hey, they are a very fun team to watch, and they're gonna make Seahawks Jags. Ooh, that's gonna be a really fun matchup.
I don't like. I'll say this. I don't think they're one of the best teams in the league. I don't think they're the best team in their division, but I do think that they are easily a playoff contender in the NFC. They're easily a playoff contender in the NFC.
Yeah.
Their offense can move. I wish their rush offense could be a little better, but their offense can move. Sam Darnold has been very good. He needs to do honestly, him and Baker have had similar years this year where I think Sam Darnold's been a little like less lucky than Baker because they need to both need to cut off on the turnover worthy plays,
Yep.
especially the turnover worthy throws. Like even the unfortunate interception was still kind of not unfortunate because wasn't the best throw,
True.
and it cost them that game because their defense could not make a single stop. They lost a tough one for sure, but it was a great game offensively. They need to get healthy on defense. I still think that there are a bit of holes on this roster. Like again, the offensive line is not good in the slightest. It is very bad.
Yeah.
And I think that could definitely bring up trouble for them, especially when they face teams like if they face a team like the Eagles who can like bang with them, right? I think
Right.
that they do have some certain matchup nightmares in the NFC East. I mean not NFC East, in the NFC in general. But as a whole, this I feel like this team should still make the playoffs this year.
Oh, agreed.
It's a tough loss, but they'll be back. They'll be ready.
Yeah.
I I believe in this team.
Yeah, plus not to mention too, they're playing the AFC South, which I still think they match up very well against it, and you still got teams like the Titans and the Texans to go through. But you know, good on Seattle. I feel like they're starting to get their thing together. I will give the slight edge to the Seahawks because I do think they are a more well-rounded team right now than Green Bay. But that's just because Green Bay is. I'm still not over the tie. It gives me yuck. Well, after that, at the spot that should be for the Broncos at number 9, because I don't think I'm missing anything. Yeah, we do have the Broncos. This team is being carried by this defense. This is a Super Bowl caliber defense that has to babysit Bo Nix throughout the entire football game. And honestly, if Sam Darnold is the quarterback on the Broncos, I think you could call this a top 3 team in the NFL.
Onyx hate, I'm here for it. I don't even think it's just the quarterback thing. Again, I think it's really the roster construction because as much as I love their defense, the Broncos were moving extremely unseriously during the offseason in terms of making their offense better. Their wide receiver number 1 is still Cortland Sutton, and credit to him, he was very good on Sunday, and he's been very good for them in general. But outside of that, who else do they have?
They have, I mean, J.K. Dobbins is no one to really scoff at. He's been pretty
That's
good
true.
this year.
Dobbins has been good. Their offensive line has been great, but I feel like they need someone who's like genuinely elite on the offensive side of the ball, which is something they don't have. They need like an elite running
They
back
need an A.J. Brown.
or like an elite receiver. Or not even maybe elite is even too far. They just need a very good receiver or a very good running back.
They need
J.K. Dobbins, like they have serviceable and like they have good and serviceable, good and serviceable. They need like a player that will really get them over the top to mask all of Bo Nix's like flaws.
Yeah. Like, if they had, ironically enough, I think even a serviceable guy would be there, because I feel like if like a guy like Jacoby Myers went over to the Broncos, obviously that wouldn't happen, but I feel like if he went there, that would be good enough to where Bo Nix would at least have another guy to look forward to, and it takes another cornerback out the game, because when you have two guys going up against Troy Franklin, which granted he had a very clutch two point conversion, and Marvin Mims, that's not really something to like be super excited for, you know. But I will give
Doesn't
Denver
really strike
this.
there in the defense.
I will give Denver this. They really, and I mean really, held the Eagles to honestly. Outside of the stat sheet, this was one of the worst Eagles games that I think I've seen from this squad. Like, people will say Jalen Hurts had a really good game. Really good game. He had 280 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. I will say this. Uh, Ask Jalen Hurts to throw a pass over 10 yards, and you got that one Michael Jordan gif where he's sitting down and he's shaking his hands. Oh no. Most of his touchdown passes were dinks and dunks. And hell, one of his longest touchdowns was because Saquon Barkley caught a screen and it ran all the way there. Again, I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is a bad quarterback, and hell, he actually got sacked pretty good on Sunday, but that's a Jalen Hurts thing for later. We need to talk about the Broncos. Bleh. Nick Bonito, good. You got anything else?
Very good. Like defensive player of the year, like low key defensive player of the year. Good. He's been awesome. He's been incredible for them.
Yeah, it's either him and Byron Young, and I think Nick Bonito still wins that.
It's Nick Bonito easily.
Yeah.
Nick Bonito's been phenomenal for them.
Well, at number 8 spot, it's not the Commanders, it's actually the Rams. Tough loss against
What
the
a fall off.
Niners.
What a fall off.
They'll get their
I
shit together.
I have some very choice words for the Rams. That I feel like that even though it's a Thursday night game and it's a rivalry game, I feel like that loss was just completely inexcusable. Their defense had no right to play as bad as they did. I don't understand how they didn't adjust at all to how much the 49ers were taking advantage of the underneath and like quick passing game, especially with both of their starting receivers out and their only viable targets being who? Did George Kittle play?
No, it was Christian
Yeah, no.
McCaffrey and Kendrick Bourne the entire
It
game.
was Christian McCaffrey and Kendrick Bourne, and they couldn't make the defensive adjustments to even attempt to stop them. Like it felt like almost everything for the 49ers just came super easy,
Keep in
and
mind,
they didn't adjust.
Keep in mind, CMC didn't even get over like 60 rushing yards. He mostly killed them through the short game, like you said. The fact of the matter is, CMC has no touchdowns rushing, and all of them have been receiving. And like that's just a testament to how bad this Rams secondary core is. Because like, as much as we want to love their defensive line, and as much as I love guys like Byron Young, as much as I love guys like Nate Landman, and as much as I like guys like Braden Fisk, their cornerbacks are hot garbage. Emmanuel Forbes is playing for them right now.
It's so unserious that they're genuinely starting Emmanuel Forbes at corner. That is dire. They need to address that.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. But I don't even think it's just an Emmanuel Forbes problem. I think it's also a schematics problem. And again, it like especially for Thursday, it was an adjustments problem because I don't understand how you can sit there, see all the injuries that the 49ers have, and try and respect and put like as much respect as you did on like the intermediate and deep passing. You want that team to try to beat you. You want a team led by Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne to try to beat you in the intermediate game. The fact that they were letting so many things happen underneath was just inexcusable to me.
Yeah,
their offense played great. I absolutely hate the fourth and 1 call on with the game on the line. And a halfback dive. Come on, McVay. Come on, McVay.
Oh no, I totally agree too. Like you have Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. Hell, even like a guy like Tyler Higbee, who I think is still there. I don't know why I brought him up. I just think Tyler Higbee whenever I think tight end for this thing. Oh no, it was Davis Allen or something. Like legitimately, anything would have been better. Um, it's just the Rams keep
That's,
on getting in their own way. I still think
yeah,
this team's
true.
good, but fuck, man.
This team moving series is not even probably. This team moving series is 5-0 because they should have beat the Eagles, and honestly, they should have beat the Niners. But like two bad, really bad fumbles.
Yeah,
To like just leave points off the board, and even like despite how bad their defense played, they only gave up how many points was it? 23. They only gave up
yeah,
23 points.
26, but yeah.
Well, yeah, 26. I'm sorry. Yeah, they still only gave up 26 points. So that is more than enough for your offense to try and win the game, but those like that red zone fumble, the pitch play fumble, it's not how you win games. They really need to address their secondary. They need to make adjustments, but they have 11 days. They got a long time before their next game comes. So, they had 11 days, I should say. They had 11 days. We'll see what they do this Sunday, I believe. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
We'll see what they'll do this Sunday.
Also, highlight
Uh,
player Sam Darnold. Forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Someone
Well,
did highlights from Brown. He was awesome.
yeah. Well,
Minus.
yeah. Up next at the number 7 spot, we have the Commanders, which, Jaden Daniels looked very good against a very defensive heavy Chargers team. Granted, they're injured to shit too, but I still think putting 27 points on the road and only allowing Justin Herbert 10 points is worthy of praise. And the main thing, obviously, Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt is one of your highlight players this week, and this was his breakout game.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. I loved watching him play. I knew everyone else was gonna say Rico Dowdle, so I had to shout out Krosky Merritt. Bill was moving me. He was moving against that Chargers defense for sure. The Commanders, I think this was a great win off of that really not so good loss against Atlanta. Their defense looked much more sound. They were making stops. They were making Justin Herbert's life hell. It's the bounce back that they definitely needed after giving up 34 against Atlanta. But again, to be completely fair, Atlanta is a significant, despite all of their flaws, Atlanta is a better offense than the Chargers. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, Justin Herbert is a significantly better quarterback in terms of offensive talent and just offense as a whole. The Falcons are a better offense than the Chargers, especially when it comes to offensive line, which is the Chargers' biggest flaw and the thing that the Commanders took heavy advantage of because they could not move the ball down the field, especially in the second half. It was a very rough game for the Chargers and a great win that is a fantastic win for the Commanders. Starting off, I mean, going to the AFC West, that everyone expecting that division to be tough as nails. 2-0 in that already. That's two wins. So they got their work cut out for them against Chicago. But if they can beat a bad offensive line in the Chargers, they can beat another bad offensive line in Chicago.
Oh no,
It's very possible.
No, I think the Bears' offensive line is pretty decent. It's the defensive line that's fucking trash, and we will not be able to stop the running game.
Yeah,
Uh,
Krosky Merritt's gonna have another
yeah,
fantastic game. If you have him in fantasy, hey, you start that man.
yeah,
Or you got like you're doing bets. Take over.
yeah.
Take the over on.
Well, in sixth place with receiving 1 vote for first place from Luke, we have the Jaguars. Weird game, but you want to know something? It's all about getting the work done, and for the Jags, they could be 5-0, and they've been getting the work done. They've been playing. Their only loss this year was to a freak game against Jake Browning, but yeah, they look solid. And Trevor had a very funny play of all time.
That man tripped and still scored a touchdown. Shout outs to Chris Jones that play for just not giving a fuck.
Nah,
pulled the
I
Albert
agree.
Haynes, pulled the Albert Haynes, did not
Yeah.
care. He was like, oh, is he going? Oh yeah, he went in.
Oh,
It's a weird play.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, this
Man,
defense is good, but the offense it needs to click some more. They were clicking throughout the game, but it needs to be more consistent.
The Jaguars, I man, oh man. I don't think the Jaguars are as good as I'm lower on them than most people. I feel like than most people are. Well, maybe not Magnum because Magnum didn't even have them in the in their top 14, which is actually kind of crazy. But I'm still like I really only rank them high or highly because they're 4-1 and they have the record to prove it. But like, man, it is one of the uglier 4-1s out there. I don't think it's the ugliest 4-1. We'll get to that team when we get to them. It's not the ugliest 4-1, but oh man, the Niners game, good wins, but ugly. Texans win, ugly. Panthers win week 1, ugly. Offense couldn't move. Defense was fantastic, fantastic for them. Like not the Browns, the Bengals lost, very ugly, like inexcusably ugly. They should not have lost that game after Jake Browning throws 3 interceptions and you lose that game. It's but I have to give credit where credit's due for the Jaguars. They've been winning. They're winning games. They beat the the defending AFC champions. They beat the Chiefs. Like you take that and run. I mean, honestly, you take that and run. You beat the Chiefs. You take that and run.
I will say this, because this is the last thing that I will have to say about them. They're leading the league in taking of takeaways. This team knows how to get the ball, and that's all you really need in the NFL. I mean, you could have the trashiest passing game of all time. You may not be able to get to the quarterback, but if you can just turn takeaways and get them, you take that every day of the week from your defense.
Yeah, that's true, but and that's another reason why I'm just so reserved on the Jaguars because the type of defense that they play is just unsustainable. It's like getting these many turnovers. Devin Lloyd, shout outs to Devin Lloyd. He has been all pro this year. He's been an all pro player this year. But the way that their defense is forcing turnovers is unsustainable.
It's unethical defense.
It really is unethical defense. It is unsustainable. And it does concern me about the future of their season. Trevor Lawrence, as decent of a game as he had, you expect a lot more from him, and people should still expect a lot more from him. They're winning almost. I feel like almost in spite of him. Lock in.
Yeah,
there you go. Lock in.
Fair. Well, at number 5 we have the Buccaneers, which honestly I'm just gonna copy paste what I said last week. I mean, it's basically the same fucking script over and over again. Game is close. Tampa comes in clutch. This time it wasn't Baker, it was the defense. But still, game comes down to 2-minute warning. Buccaneers do bullshit. Buccaneers win. That's what it's been.
I'm not even really gonna talk about the Buccaneers. I just want to say, it is such a shame that Tedero McMillan and Emeka Egbuka are in the same division as the Atlanta Falcons. Because if they weren't, they would probably be 2 of my favorite players in the league. And honestly, that's not really going to stop me from making them 2 of my favorite players in the league. I loved those 2 coming into the draft, and they're playing exactly how I expected them to play. They are so good. I cannot give Emeka Egbuka his flowers enough. He is such a fantastic player. I know he's not here. I know we're not even we talked about the Panthers only because of Rico Dowdle, but Tedero McMillan, get him a real quarterback. He's probably putting up 115 yards a game. He is that good. But man, what a win. What a win for the Bucs. It pains me to say that, but what a win for the Bucs. Baker Mayfield just continues to play like an MVP. Their defense was getting fucking carved up though. Pretty badly against a really good passing offense, to be fair, but their defense was definitely getting carved up. That is something that they need to figure out and work on.
I
But
agree.
even then, again, the team is still not fully healthy. Who knows how good this team's gonna be when they're fully healthy? When Chris Godwin finally gets back up to snuff, when Tristan Wirth gets in the game shape.
Mike
How like
Evans.
I'm pretty sure like even like they still are missing a lot of pieces on their offensive line. This team gets really deadly when they're fully healthy.
Yeah.
The only person holding this team back is Todd Bowles, high key.
Yeah.
But that it's a great win, and Emeka Ibuka, keep doing you, man.
Yep.
Not against the Falcons, but keep doing you.
Well, we have another tie for third place, and the honorable. I want to say, I just think we should both put these teams on fraud watch, just because of what the fuck they did on Sunday. Bills and Eagles. Guess what? You got too close to the fire and you got burned. Congratulations. Stop doing this shit. Stop relying on your good run game and just be better. Play defense, please. That's all we're asking. Play defense against middling opponents.
Okay, so I would personally put the Bills much higher than the Eagles. I'll talk about the Bills first because I'm less angry about them than the Eagles. This is a pretty bad loss, honestly, against like a team that they're definitely superior to. Gotta win the turnover battle, plain and simple. You can't like the amount of turnovers that these guys have. Wait, no, they had the same amount of turnovers, right? It was like 2-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2-2. They got a, I don't know. It was an ugly game, really weird game. Their defense played really poorly. Their offense wasn't as good as it should have been. Just it really just felt like a weird loss that happens to good teams. But if they played this game again, they would more than likely win. Which is why I think, like again, barring injuries or anything, like I think they're gonna go into Foxborough and beat them. I'm not gonna say handily, but I think they will beat the Patriots when they face them again. I think they're still. I think they're still like head and shoulders the best team in the division despite the loss. But there's just a lot of concern with their defense because they had one outlier against the Jets, but the Jets are currently the worst team in the league. Their defense hasn't really been like good, honestly, especially their secondary. The secondary's been really bad. They got to figure it out now. The Eagles, oh my fucking goodness, what is wrong with this team? What is wrong with the Eagles? Fire your offensive coordinator.
Yeah, they're. Look, man,
This
the
when I was
Eagles are
talking
a
about
waste of breath to me. Like, why even talk about them? Because it's the same damn shit that we've talked and that we've already said time and time again. We've been like, Jalen Hurts doesn't know how to beat good defenses. We were proven right today. Jalen Hurts just fucking Saquon Barkley is very much being benefited by a very good offensive line. That also showed today. Fucking the fact of the matter is, I still think the funniest part about this game, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith were whining about not getting the ball enough, and they got fed. And you want to know what happened? They fucking lost. So I hope they realize that not getting the fucking ball doesn't result in you winning. So if you want to go get the ball, go back and play for the fucking Saints or Titans or something. Otherwise, shut up and focus on winning football games.
you really hit them with the shut up and hoop. That's kind of crazy. But like I disagree with that sentiment because I feel like they like especially the weeks prior they were 100% right about like not getting the ball at all, especially like AJ Brown. Like ridiculous that he's a matchup nightmare against most, if not all players. PS2 is just PS2 is PS2. Nick Bonito is Nick Bonito. Their offensive coordinator needs to get fired immediately. Like this is what I was talking about with the Jaguars, but the Eagles have had the ugliest 4-1 team in my eyes. None of it has been good. The Cowboys have not been good. Who do they face week 2? Who
Uh,
was
they,
it?
I believe they faced the. I want to say it was the. No, it wasn't the Panthers. It was the Giants.
No, it wasn't. That was the Cowboys. The Cowboys faced the Giants
Oh,
week 2.
oh, fuck.
They faced
They.
them week 2. It It was the Chiefs. It was the Chiefs.
Yes,
Another
yes,
ugly
yes,
win. Like
yes.
the another ugly win against the Chiefs. They had an ugly win against the. They had like an ugly win against the Bucks. They had another ugly win. There's another team they beat. The Rams. Another
Yeah,
ugly win against the Rams. Like and a super fraudulent win against the Rams too. Like just God came down and said, "You are going to block 2 kicks and you're going to win the game. We want you to win this game." Like a lot of fraudulence with the Eagles, and I think, and what makes me angry is their roster is way too good for them to be winning as fraudulent as they are.
yeah,
Way too good. There's no, especially offensively, there's no reason their offense should be struggling the way that it is. And I'm usually the one that is quick to blame Jalen Hurts because I don't think he's as good as Eagle fans say that he is. But it's not really a Jalen Hurts problem.
scheming.
It is an offensive coordinator problem. And the fact that they aren't like a top 5 team in terms of running the ball is just mind-boggling to me. When you have Saquon Barkley, who, even though I've said like his
30
lofty man
rushing
as the
yards,
best
by the
running back
way.
in the league, he's still like probably as a whole is still the best running back in the league.
He carried the
Like
ball 6 times on Sunday.
6 times is inexcusable. Plain and simple. Why are you trying to beat one of the best passing defenses and an okay run defense with nothing but nonstop passing? The game plan just makes no sense. And not only that, you blow the game to Bo Nix is completely, it's just inexcusable and embarrassing.
Yeah.
And that's how the Eagles have been really maneuvering this entire season. Is just inexcusable, embarrassing, and unserious. I don't know if they can. I don't know if adjustments need. I don't know if the offensive coordinator is smart enough to make the adjustments to genuinely like put them over the top. They like you can like be like you can like box score watch and say, oh, they scored 31 against the Buccaneers, and then you remember that like one of those touchdowns was off of a blocked punt.
Yeah.
So, my gosh.
They're just frustrating. The more you talk about them, the more you just hate them.
That's why I put them on my fraud watch team for like most of these weeks. They have been on fraud watch. Like, figure it the fuck out. It's frustrating when teams with this much talent are just squandering it.
Jackson Dart,
I did.
please beat the
Eagles.
Eagles. Jackson Dart, please
Eagles.
beat the Eagles.
Eagles. Do you know how many teams Devontae Smith would be wide receiver number 1 on? A majority of the NFL. Figure it out. Figure it out. Okay?
Yeah.
You have 2 wide receiver ones on your team. Passing game's been dog shit. Running game's been dog shit. Figure it out. I'm not even an Eagles fan, and I actually, matter of fact, I'm not. I hate the Eagles, and this team pisses me off. Figure it the fuck out.
Yeah. Well, the next 2 teams, pretty much carbon copy. The Colts at 2, obviously. They're legit. They are legit. They're doing what they should be doing. Beating up bad opponents and keeping it close with the good teams. The Rams loss still should be a win if Adonai Mitchell isn't an idiot. But being at 2 compared to what I thought they were going to be at the start of the season, you know what? I think you take it if you're a Colts fan. You're pretty much 5 wins away from a playoff spot.
Like shit, I think they're the best team in the AFC South right now. Jonathan
Yeah.
Taylor's been fun in offensive player of the year. Good. Daniel Jones has been great. They're like, I think what's really important is that they're beating up on really bad teams just to show that they are not anywhere near their stratosphere. Like good teams blowing out bad teams. Just like it really, I think it really moves me because it shows like that we are not fucking around. We're not we're not gonna fall into any traps. Because I feel like even this Raiders game was a trap game.
Yeah.
And they didn't fall. They don't fall for. They're not falling for any traps. They're playing serious. Like they're playing serious football. I never thought like in 2024. Imagine like in 2024. I say the Colts are playing serious football with Daniel Jones as their starting quarterback. Like it is ridiculous, but it is what's happening right now. It's just a phenomenal win. Speaking of like the Colts, I don't really have much to say about them. Like they're
Yeah.
legit. But the Raiders are unbelievable dog shit, and Geno Smith is cooked, completely cooked.
True. Well, we have only 15 seconds left, and the Lions are at 1. Say what you need to say about the Lions in like 2 seconds.
Good team and fantastic offense. They're gonna win the NFC North. Like that's it. They're the best team in the league right now, in my opinion.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow this guy on Twitter or something. Bye.